Hello, I want to explain the same idea that I've explained in a previous video. I just want to do it in a way more coherent and structured manner, because I'm a bit going crazy. I want to organize the ideas. So, the basic idea I've come to is the need for stimulation itself is an addiction, and um, if you were to look at your kind of the way you organize your life, you have a whole bunch of activities that give you varying levels of stimulation. Um, and a lot of people try to tackle and shift which of those activities are giving you the stimulation. So stimulation would be this, and then this would be activity. Right, it would look like a plot like this. So for example, I don't know, you might have a hobby that might stimulate you a little bit. You might be addicted to some drugs that might stimulate you a lot, and you might have your social circle, right? Those are just forms of stimulation, and generally what people do is they try to okay, doing drugs not so good for me. Let me just spend more time socializing and doing more time spending doing hobbies, or maybe they would add something else. Maybe they started going to the gym or something, right? Or pursuing something, and now they have been able to limit their stimulation with one specific thing that they deemed to be, problematic for whatever reason, and they kind of offload the stimulation onto other activities. The issue with that is if you were to offload until you have only one thing, you're gonna find that the amount of stimulation that you need to experience is still crazy high. It's still so high that it's damaging to your nervous system. And what you're gonna find is that this um, tolerance is only building up and it's increasing the amount you're getting stimulated day by day, or the amount you need to get stimulated as you're adapting naturally. So um, just offloading it, just kind of, splitting it into different activities and, limiting the harmful expressions of that, and channeling them into good ones does not necessarily mean, does not actually solve the problem. Because, again, if you were to offload everything into one, and then for whatever reason you can't do this one. For example, again, let's say I go all in on my social circle and I just spend all my time with my friends and I talk to them and I find that very stimulating, blah blah blah. Something happens, I break my leg, I can't contact with my friends for whatever reason. Maybe my friends betray me or something, right? Stuff happens, life is unpredictable, right? Something happens, and the moment that happens, I have all of the stimulation that I need to put somewhere else. And because I've developed such a tolerance for it, I need to put that same amount of it. Like that crazy amount of stimulation, I need to replace from socializing into something else. And your ability to control what you put that into is limited i- in an angle of it's limited from what is going to be available. What I mean by that is, okay, your friends when let's imagine COVID, right? You can't socialize with your friends. You can't go outside and do hobbies. You can't do anything else. Like, what is left to do? Drugs or scrolling or porn addiction, right? So, um, kind of just offsetting it into positive activities is stupid. Doesn't solve the issue. And what I proposed is, um, instead of splitting things into from negative into positive habits, just completely go cold turkey on them. So let's say you have again your bunch of activities, just lower all of them at the same time. Just down stimulate, down regulate them. To and just do that gradually until you're able to kind of well, I don't know if you can go gradually, to be honest. I think this might be like a on and off thing. This might be a very binary thing. Like you either do it or you don't. I'm not sure if you can do it a little bit because it has a naturally degrading effect, and if you're exposed to it, you're gonna relapse. So, and the way your mind works is you're just gonna, justify it to yourself. Oh, I'll just do it a little bit. Oh, I'll just do it a little bit. And before you know it, like, oh, I'm doing it a lot, and I didn't even realize it. It's kind of because you have like a local bias, and you're not able to control yourself that well. Otherwise, you wouldn't have this stimulation problem to begin with, probably. Um, Allowing yourself to do it even a little bit always leads to it completely escalating. So in that sense, I don't even think that slowly downregulating it works. What I think works better is going in sprints where you just completely try to cut it off, and you might fail. It might take you a few attempts, but that is still a way more reliable and way more effective way of getting rid of it over a long period of time. Just kind of uh, how should I say? If you just keep trying that, eventually there will be a time where you're kind of done it so many times, and you're kind of begun getting used to and started rebuilding. Okay, actually, I have an argument for why it's actually better than done stimulating. When you're done stimulating, you still have enough stimulation. It feels like you're still running on the same fuel. It's just you're a diminished version of yourself. If you are to completely cut off this as a fuel source, completely cut this off, it would you won't have any fuel to run on, and you'll need to find something else to fuel you. You'll need to completely build a new way of engaging with activities, a completely new way of um, controlling or engaging with things, and only then you'll be able to work. The kind of equivalent of that is, let's say you have a bad relationship with someone, right? Let's say you have like a partner and it's super abusive, it's super on and off, right? And you could cling on to this and for years be in this annoying limbo where you're kind of together, you're kind of not together, it's kind of good, it's kind of cancer, and you're just like in this middle ground and you can't well, really progress. You can't really do anything in that kind of environment. What you need to do is completely let go, uh, be like, goodbye, bitch, not talking to you ever again. And then within way shorter span of time, you're going to be able to move on, work on yourself, and maybe meet someone new, right? The same kind of applies to um, stimulation. You, by completely giving it up, should be capable of disengaging from it and being able to engage with something new. And while you still engage with the old kind of way of functioning, you're limiting your ability to engage with something new or even come up with something new. How should I say? Our body is very lazy, and in that sense, it will always try to find a shortcut. And when you're still open the doors to engaging with this, for it, the shortest path is still going to be um, to just get you addicted again, just to get you back on the old kind of re-escalate whatever activities you were doing. It's not going to look for new things that you could engage with, right? I think I've made that pretty clear. So, kind of to summarize my point, um, replacing activities that you're stimulated that are stimulating you, replacing habits is completely pointless. It doesn't yield long-term results. It facilitates really brutal relapses. What I propose instead is to don't stimulate everything and combat stimulation itself, not the activities that are stimulating you. And try to address the core of the issue, which is the stimulation. Right? The issue isn't that you're addicted to drugs or gambling or whatever. The issue is that you're addicted to extreme experiences, and gambling happens to be one of those extreme experiences. Replacing it with socializing and kind of rock climbing or some shit isn't going to solve the core issue of you being addicted to extreme experiences. It might just make it on the surface look like you're more functional. You're not. Okay, I think I've made my point fairly clear. Goodbye.